Hello, welcome to the vlog. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be bike riding the General James A. Van Fleet State Trail, commonly called the Van Fleet Trail. This trail starts in Polk City and runs north for just over 29 miles up to State Road 50. It runs right through almost the heart of the green swamp. And the trail being as long as it is, I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to shoot this video in 3 sections. So today I'm only going to cover the first 10 miles. I'm going to go from Polk City and I'm going to go up to Green Pond Road. So should be very pretty. There's lots of scenery. It's right out in the lots in the swamp. Hopefully there's a lot of critters. It is busy, so we may not see too many critters. But it's a beautiful ride, so come join me and let's have an outdoor adventure. The area known as the Green Swamp can be loosely defined by the following roads: Interstate 4 along its southern border, northward to State Road 50, and then from Highway 27 on the eastern side over to Highway 98. This area is widely considered to be the Green Swamp. Now, the trail itself starts here in Polk City and runs northward 29 miles, terminating at State Road 50. This particular video is going to cover the 10 miles from Polk City up to Green Pond Road. The Van Fleet Trail is a Rails to Trails program. The rail line used to run right through there and head that way, and the trail itself is built directly on the old rail bed. And I'm in the parking lot of the Polk City terminal. And the interesting thing you can see is that if you look closely enough at the parking lot, you can see the foundation of the old railroad terminal. And it runs over here. Obviously, they've since removed the building, but you can still see the remains of the old foundation. This was the rail station here in Polk City. There was actually 2 rail lines. One was a siding and one was the main line. Ran from Miami and ran north through here. The railroad track was built in the 1920s, and it was used up until 1986 when the line was abandoned. In the early 90s, the state leased the land and converted it into the trail system. For the first couple of miles, you're going to encounter lots of people out walking and jogging in addition to bike riding. Located as it is here in Polk City, the trail is very popular. This is a nice little feature they put up from time to time. It's a little observation platform off the main trail. I think I don't know how many. There's several of them along the trail. And basically they don't stick out very far. They just kind of lead you through the main line of trees and bring you out into a place you can just kind of sit down and relax. Enjoy the outdoors, listen to the wind whispering through the leaves. All in all, it's just very, very pretty. The surface of the trail itself is in fair condition, although it can be quite bumpy, and as you can see, there are numerous cracks and ruts along its distance. In the worst places, the trail maintenance crews will take spray paint and highlight the bad places, as you see here, in an attempt to get your attention so you can see and avoid the worst places. The trail itself is named after General James A. Van Fleet, a career Army man who served in World War I, World War II, and Korea. He served with great distinction, earning, among other awards, 3 Silver Stars, 3 Bronze Stars, and 3 Purple Hearts for wounds received in combat. After he retired, he moved to the Polk City area, became a rancher, and stayed here until his passing in 1992. Just over a mile up the trail, you come to this little bench here. Nice place to rest in the shade. Got a little bike rack here. But you may notice it's kind of angled strangely. You kind of think it might face the trail or something. Well, it seems strange until you come to realize that it's actually overlooking what is a working alpaca farm. Unfortunately, I don't see any of the critters out and about now, but there are quite often llamas and alpacas, well, alpacas anyway, wandering around out there. That's just another nice place to sit and relax. Everything okay?
Everything's fine. I was just watching that turtle.
Oh, there you go. Very good, yeah.
There's a baby one up on the right.
Okay, all right. So here's a good example of a gopher tortoise right outside its home. I'll try to get close without sweat. Well, I guess I pressed a little too close, but if you can see, that's the burrow. There's no telling how deep it is. That's where they spend overnight. And being reptiles, they come out not first thing in the morning, but mid-morning. And they'll do just what this guy's doing. They'll come out to the entrance of the burrow and they'll just sit there for a while. And he's soaking up the sun, warming up, getting ready to take on the day. Isn't this guy just the cutest little thing ever? His shell is all of like 2 inches long. This must be this year's crop. I'm gonna try to get you an idea of the size. Even though the trail rides through the area known as the Green Swamp, much of the trail on either side is going to look like this. Wide open fields, pasture land. There's a lot of cattle. I don't see any out there right now, but this is a very popular area for cattle ranches, and this is what this one is. And if this was smell-o-vision, you could certainly tell there's cattle in the area. This area, like I said, it is the Green Swamp. Being Florida, you don't have to go down very far vertically to strike water. Many sections there's water, but many sections you're going to find areas like this. There is exactly one curve on the entire 29 miles of the Van Fleet Trail, and this is it, so hold on tight. The green swamp area is extremely important for the ecological health of the state. Any rainfall that falls here soaks into the ground and helps to recharge the aquifer, and what doesn't soak into the ground runs off and helps to recharge the lakes and streams. In fact, no fewer than 4 rivers have their headwaters located in the green swamp area. Well, hello there. So here's another example of some of the wildlife you might see, although this one's pretty unusual for the trail. Alligator. I don't know if you can hear it hissing. That's a gator's warning sign that you're just coming a little too close for his comfort. Notice the yellow banding on the tail. They keep that yellow banding until they're about 4 years old, 5 years old. They grow about a foot a year for the first 4 or 5 years. This one looks like to be about 3 feet long. So he's probably 3 years old. So there's the gator. And we'll go up here and look at the canal. Can't imagine there's much water in it. So the gator was down there about 100 yards or so. Must have gone up the side, up the little canal, and then got onto the trail. This is the creek, and as you can see, it's bone dry, which is not at all unusual. This is being filmed in May, and in Florida in May, the temperatures are coming up, but the rains really haven't started yet. So all the water levels in the rivers and the creeks and the lakes usually drop pretty significantly at this time of year. End of May, June is when the summer rains usually begin. So I'm here at Green Pond Road parking lot. This is 10 miles north of Polk City trailhead. And the parking lot is little more than just that. It is a parking lot. I came from that direction. And this way is north. Just on the other side of this structure here are some restrooms and a water fountain, so you can get refreshment, and then the trail continues on up that way. Saw lots of critters, lots of gopher tortoises. The fox was pretty neat. Highlight has to be that gator. That was very unusual. Never seen a gator crossing the trail before. And I'm sure it was crossing the trail because I'm filming this in May, and as you saw, the water levels are very, very low. So I'm sure that gator was just looking for a pond of its own to go swimming in. Beautiful trail. As far as a technical ride, this trail has only distance to offer. There's no hills, no turns, just straight as an arrow and flat as a board. But as you saw, it rides through some beautiful countryside. So glad you enjoyed it, and thanks for joining me on the outdoor adventure. See you next time.